Saints quarterback Drew Brees has signed on to endorse a new product, but there's a catch. His contract with the Saints actually forbids him from using it. I'm Antonita Collins with your ESPN headline. Let's bring in Darren Rovell, ESPN sports business reporter. Darren, we're talking about the Can-Am Spyder motorcycle. That's the new endorsement for Drew Brees. Now, his contract says he can't actually ride or use a motorcycle. How does this work?
Well, this is a hilarious deal. I mean, obviously all endorsements are kind of usually relying on the fact that the guy says something's great, or the woman says something's great. But in this case, Drew had a friend a former player, who got a Can-Am Spyder, and around the Super Bowl had met the guys at the company and started talking. And you would think in a normal situation they'd say, yeah, we can't do this deal because I can't ride a motorcycle. But this motorcycle is different in that it has three wheels and has a Y frame. So it's different from the traditional motorcycle demographic. And these guys wanted to appeal to the NFL audience. And one of the ways to do it is to get Drew Brees, one of the biggest spokesmen, biggest players in the NFL, to talk about it. So they had this pretty funny commercial where Drew basically calls up his agent and says that the loophole he has is he's now going to retire, and they're going to run that on and then he gets on the motorcycle, and they're going to run that on digital media and television and do a print ad, and so it's really a extensive media buy to try to get people who are interested in the NFL and maybe not so much keeping their mind on motorcycles interested in the product.
How common is it for players who have contracts with clauses like this or deals like this to have an endorsement like this?
Yeah, there's only one deal. Obviously, the motorcycle clause is extensive, and it's probably the most common clause in NFL contracts. You can't get on, something that's going to perhaps jeopardize your career. It's in NBA contracts as well. Very common. But the only time I've ever heard a player say they did not use the product was Rafael Palmeiro and Viagra when he did that deal, 12, 13 years ago. His agent originally told me he didn't use the product for the use that it's recommended. And that got him in trouble. So that's the only time I've ever heard of anything like this where an athlete does not use the product that he endorses.
There you have it, Darren Rovell with the insight. Good stuff as always. I'm Antonita Collins with your ESPN headline.